guys, it's Miss Adams. Welcome back to the 2021-2022 school year. I hope you guys are doing great. Today we're going to be going over lesson 6.1. So this will correspond to what you're doing in your Algebra 1 class. We're going to get into graphing quadratic equations during this unit. So today, what I'm going to ask of you guys is we're going to be really practicing with a calculator, but there's going to be a couple of terms that are on this delta math that I need to go over with you. So we're going to do two problems together, and then I'm going to let you guys work through the rest of these on your own. Notice that you will have different problems than your classmates, so I didn't choose the same 10 problems for everybody. But guys, you've got unlimited attempts, so don't stress about it too much. We're going to keep going through these, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do. So you're going to go to the 6.1 graphing quadratic equation assignment, and we're just going to do some graphing parabolas. So remember, parabolas deal with our quadratic equations. These kind of look like U's. And we got to know some key characteristics here because it says, this first thing says to graph the equation y equals negative x squared minus 10x minus 16 on the accompanied set of axes. You must plot 5 points, including the root and the vertex. So we got some key terms there. We've got root and we've got vertex. Anytime you hear the word root, guys, these are just your x-intercepts. So I know that my graph, once I put this equation in my calculator, I need to find where my x-intercepts are. But then we also have a new term here called the vertex. Guys, this is your turnaround point. So depending on which orientation your parabola is, this is either going to be your max or your min. But it's also going to be your turnaround point. Later, we're going to talk about the axis of symmetry. This is actually the vertical line that runs through the x value of your vertex. This is going to split our parabola into two symmetric parts. But for today, we really just want to focus on graphing these quadratic equations on a coordinate plane. So if you are not familiar with the TI-30XS calculator online, please go back and watch my video regarding this. But I'm going to use that online calculator to kind of walk you through how to use it and what we're looking for here. So I'm going to make this side by side so we can look at this a little bit easier. I have my online version of the TI-30XS tool to the left side, and delta math is on the right side of the screen here. And we're going to put our equation into the table function of our online calculator. For some reason, my screens don't want to drag, and that's okay. We'll get them connected anyways. So let's go here. We're going to hit table, and we're going to enter in the equation negative x squared minus 10x minus 16. And the things that we need to look for are our roots and our vertex. So I don't know where I want to start here. We're just going to look for really a turnaround point to start off. So right now, if I'm looking at this as my values of x get bigger, my y values seem to be getting bigger. So let's see if I can go a little bit lower. There's one x-intercept, so that's good to know. So I know I need the point negative 2, 0. So I can go over here to my graph, and I'm going to have the point negative 2, 0 as one of my points. So that's one of my roots. Let's keep going a little bit more negative. I've got negative 3, 5, negative 4, 8, negative 5, 9, negative 6, 8. Okay, so notice here, guys. I want to show you something here. Look at these three values. I've got negative 6, negative 5, negative 4 for my x values. But my y values, I've got 8, 9, and then 8 again. So what's happened is we have a turnaround point right there. So right in the middle, we've got a turnaround point. This negative 5, negative 9 is our turnaround point. So that's telling us that's where our vertex is going to be. This is one of our key features. So at negative 5, so we're x negative 5, I'm going to have a positive value of y at 9. Then I've got to find my other root. So I can keep going until I find my other root, which is going to be at negative 8, 0. But it says I I need to plot 5 points. So just choose 2 other points on there. I can use -7, 5. And let's say that we use -4. I could use -4, 8. I could also use -3, 5. I've got 5 points. I now have a parabola. It is facing downwards, so this is a reflected parabola. We'll get into those transformations later. But let's check to make sure we did this correctly. You want to submit your answer? Yes. And we have now graphed this. So in this case, what your delta math does here is it actually solves it out algebraically. It plugs those values in. Guys, just use your calculator. It's going to give you that table. I'm not expecting you to plug each of those x values in. We're utilizing our table to make this easier on us. Let's try one more together. I'm going to hit next problem. Let's go to one that has a positive value at the beginning. So, you know what, we'll just keep it with this one. It's fine. It says y equals -x squared minus 2x plus 3. So go back to your table function. We're going to clear it out. I've got -x squared minus 2x. And make sure we put a minus instead of a negative, so minus 2x plus 3. And it doesn't really matter where we start right here because we're looking for our roots and our vertex. So we've got to find that through our table here. Well, luckily, we already have one of our roots shown here. And in order to find a root or an x-intercept, we know for an x-intercept, y must be 0. So I'm going to have a root there at -3, 0. That's going to be the first point I plot. All right, it looks that the y values are getting more negative as x gets more negative. So let's see if we can go down and see if I can find any turnaround points. So I've got -3, 0, -2, 3, -1, 4, 0, 3. This is a turnaround point. Notice that 4 is sandwiched in between 2 3s for my y values. So my vertex then is where x is -1 and where y is 4. And then we also have our last root at 1, 0. So I'm going to have a point at 1, 0. And I can just use those points around it. I can say that I've got another point on this parabola at 0, 3. And I can say I have another point at 2, -5. So I can just look here. I can go 2, -5. And because I have 5 points, it automatically generates the graph. So guys, you have to have 5 points for it to automatically generate the graph. And we can check ourselves by submitting. So yes, you want to submit this answer. Perfect. Guys, if you have any questions while you're doing these, you do have the ability to watch a help video through these, or you can ask myself or Mr. Sakita. We'll be glad to help you.